later this week with the recording link. So thank you again, everyone, for joining us for the first PAC session of the year. So welcome, everyone. I hope you're having a good end to your summer. So we will get started. So for those of you who are new to IMSA and to the PAC, I just wanted to share our mission statement. The PAC stands for Parent Association Council. So the PAC's mission is to enhance the educational and residential experience of IMSA students by providing resources and working collaboratively with IMSA's administration, faculty, staff, and students. So why should you get involved in PAC? Well, technically, all parents of current students at IMSA are already members of the PAC. So by getting involved in PAC, you'll get to meet fellow parents and guardians and make friendships. You'll also get to meet students, faculty, and staff. You'll get to take part in fun activities, and we will be sharing a lot of what the PAC does today. And also you'll be able to find out more about what's going on at IMSA through the sessions and events that we have, and you'll get to take part in the IMSA community. So PAC really is run by parent volunteers. So all of the PAC committee chairs and board members that you'll hear from today, we are all fellow parents and guardians, just like you, and we are all volunteers. So definitely there's lots of different ways that you can get involved. And these pictures are from PAC members, past and present, who have taken part in many of the different things that we've done. Back one. So the PAC is comprised of an executive board, and you'll hear from all of us now. So I'll start off with me. I'm the president this year, so I'm looking forward to meeting lots of other parents and guardians this year. My name is Maria Tianco Ramos. I am living in Aurora, and I have 4 children. Olivia is my daughter, and she is an IMSA senior this year. I also have another daughter, Ava, who is a high school freshman this year, and 2 boys, Reese, he graduated from IMSA this past May, and Sebastian, who graduated from IMSA last year. So they are going to be a freshman and going to be a sophomore in college this year, and my husband, Jim, who you will hear from later on. So I wanted to share a little bit about our PAC website. So if you haven't had a chance to explore our website, I invite you to do so because we have a lot of information on there. So the PAC website is run by parent volunteers, but some of the things we have on there are a calendar that includes PAC and IMSA events, committee sections. So as we're talking about the different committees today, and if you'd like to find out more information, you can actually visit any of those committee sections and find out all the details, including calendars of their upcoming events. You'll also find a section where we put the communications or emails that come out from IMSA to the parents distribution list. So as the year goes on and you find that you're getting more emails, that was feedback that we heard from parents from before, that they wanted to find a place where they can see all the emails. So that's what we've started doing. Also, we have a tab with helpful resources with links to different information that have been asked in the past from parents. You'll also find a tab with the PAC sessions and recordings and slide decks. So like I mentioned, we'll be sending out an email later this week with the recording to this meeting, but you can also find the PAC sessions, recordings, and slide decks from the past couple of years. Also, there's a section on how to support or donate to the PAC. And also, you'll be able to purchase Proud Parent merchandise. I am wearing one of the lovely shirts that we have available on there. And also you'll have some free gifts. So I'm actually going to share the website so you can see how it is laid out. So really, we encourage you to take a look at this PAC calendar here, or the calendar here, and you'll see that there's different events that are listed on here. And as I mentioned, it includes both PAC and IMSA events. So when you click on each calendar event, you can actually add it to your own calendar on there. So as I mentioned, there are different tabs on the sides for the different committees. And this is what the IMSA communications tab looks like. So we do have the emails sectioned off by general emails and then those that are sent out to each of the classes. And again, these are the ones that go out to the general distribution list. So you may have emails that come out directly to you. You might get that from your RCs in different areas. That won't be on here, but the ones that go out to the general public are, or general IMSA population of parents do. So we also have some free gifts here that you can download, which is Surviving IMSA's lexicons, and also a free cookbook that was put together by our Student Life and Friday Fest committees a couple of years ago. So do encourage you to take a look around our website. As I mentioned, we do have some Proud Parent merchandise that's available here. And then also we do have a sign up form for those that you might be interested in finding out more information about some of the committees that we'll be talking about today, or different ways that you might want to get involved in the PAC. Okay, so let me get back to the other slides. Okay, great. And next I would like to call on Shelley Lemons, our Vice President this year.
Good morning, everybody. We're so glad you're here. I am Shelley Lemons. I live in Belleville, Illinois, near St. Louis. My family, you see pictured on the slide, my husband, Brad. We've been married for 27 years. I can't believe that. Our child, Sasha, is a rising senior at IMSA. And we have another child, Elliot. He is entering 3rd grade this year. My role as Vice President includes things like helping coordinate volunteers for move-in. And so you'll see some emails from me inviting you to the Sign Up Genius to be able to do that. And we're just really excited that you're here and excited to help make this a fantastic year for all of our students at IMSA.
Thank you, Shelley. Oh, yeah. There you go. So if you want to scan the QR code, as Shelley had mentioned, this is the form to help out with move-in. And Shelley, we still have a few more spots on that, right?
We do. I was just checking it before we got on the call today. We could really use some volunteers for the Thursday slot and also on Friday.
Thank you. And as you mentioned, please don't sign up for a time where you're moving your own child in. So thank you, Shelley.
In that, the 20th is a Saturday, just for clarification.
Thank you, Katie. I just noticed that whenever I was looking at the slide and looking at my phone, like, that's not right.
The date is correct, but Saturday the 20th.
Okay, so we'll fix that before the slide deck goes out. Thank you. Okay, and next we have Jen Mock, our treasurer.
Hello, good morning. I'm Jen Mock. I'm the treasurer of the PAC. This will be my 2nd year serving on the executive board. If you'll go to the next screen for me. I'm in the process of filing the PAC budget for this year. And I will be sending an email to all committee chairs with their appropriations this year. We're going to do things a little bit differently this year. We're going to make sure the committee chairs know how much money they have available to spend, and then they can divvy it out to their volunteers as needed throughout the year. Regional reps have been sending in their reimbursements for picnics. So if you have not done so and you're a regional rep and have some expenses from your picnic, please make sure you send those in. I just wanted to gently remind everyone too that we are introducing many new PAC leaders to the PAC this year. And I just ask that you extend us a little bit of grace. You may be receiving more emails than you're used to. Give us a little time to work out those kinks. Last year, the feedback we received from parents, not everybody reads their emails, not everybody uses Facebook. So we're encouraging everybody to at least check in on the calendar every once in a while. And if you do click on those events, for instance, there was an email that went out for a sign up for Carnival. If you click on the event for the sign up for Carnival, it will give you additional details on that event. So you don't necessarily have to go back and fish through your emails to get the sign up form. It is actually embedded in that event in the calendar. Our fundraisers this year, we do have, we're trying a couple of fundraisers. One of them is ordering through OCM, which is linens for your dorm rooms, things like that for dorm rooms, which is also on the PAC calendar. And we are also holding a Chipotle fundraiser, which is open to the public on September 17th. So if you live in the Aurora area and you have, friends, family, businesses that frequent Chipotle, we would love your support. I know our students certainly seek out Chipotle meals every once in a while, so they do get a lot of business from us. And that's all for me. Thank you. I enjoy working with everybody on the PAC, and we will see you later this year.
Thank you, Jen. And as you mentioned, a lot of information is on the website, including reimbursement request forms. So thank you. And Jen, did you want to touch on this?
Yes, I was just going to say, those who are interested in the downstate bus, please make sure that you hang on for the presentation from the Transportation Committee, because they are seeking pre-registration for downstate bus right now. So if you're interested, make sure you get your name on the form.
Thank you. And did you want to cover?
I had more slides. I didn't realize that. So we also have, the PAC currently has a policy right now that I anticipate that policy will follow through to this year for any of our services, senior banquet and the PAC bus, downstate PAC bus. Tier 1 and tier 2 students do get a discount, and we foresee those policies following through again this year. So that should be it for me. I only have 3 slides. Thanks.
Thank you. Okay, next is Anna Salinas, our secretary.
Hi, good morning, everyone. This is me right here. That's my beautiful family there to the left of the screen. My husband, Edward Salinas, he's there. He's very active because I sign him up for a lot of things, especially Friday Fest, and he loves it. And this is Matthew here, the one in the black. He's he's a class of 24. He's a junior this year, so he will be in 1505. If anybody has any questions or anything, you can always bother him and say, hey, I need to speak to your mom. She hasn't answered me back, whatever. And he's gonna love it too. The one in the middle is Andrew. He's been in the Promise program 2021, 2022, the summer, and now he's in the fall. The little one is my 8th grader, Sammy, and he probably will not come to IMSA, but he supports his brothers. I live in Chicago, Region 10. So if anyone is ever in Chicago and needs something to get back to your kids from Chicago, call me, email me, text me. I will help you in any way possible. My job as a secretary is to try to keep Jen and Maria and Shelly in order, but you know what? I'm new. They're actually helping me get better at being secretary. So I really appreciate everybody at the board. Enjoy IMSA. Go IMSA.
Thank you very much, Anna. Okay, and we have our senior parent representative, who is Piyush Swain, who is not able to join the call this morning, but he is continuing on as a parent representative. He was the sophomore parent representative last year, and we joke that he's been promoted to senior parent representative. He did a fantastic job last year with running the sophomore parent representative meeting. So he will be doing that similar type of thing for parents of seniors. So this year we do have 3 class representatives for parents, the senior, junior, and sophomore. You'll hear from the other 2. And so their role is to connect with the parents of those different classes. So Piyush lives in Aurora. He's got Pranat, who is a junior at IMSA. And then he also has a second grader, and his wife is pictured here as well. And then next we have the junior class parent representative, Mitri.
Okay, thank you, Maria. Hello, everybody. My name is Maitri Ghosh. I have the privilege to be your junior class rep, parent rep for this year. I have, actually, let's go to the next slide, please. I can show you my beautiful family there. That's my beautiful family, Ananya, 8th grader. She's a 3rd grader. I was going to say 8th grader. No. So she's 8 and going to be a 3rd grader. And my husband, he's my friend, my partner for 21 years. We do things together, enjoy it. And my daughter, 15, who is a rising junior at IMSA, she loves it here. We all live in the northwest suburb of Chicago. And the reason why we love IMSA is due to its commitment for its already talented and passionate young high school students, and also, the culture everybody will, we have found in last year, and students who are new this year, there's a growth mindset, and it allows students to find their passion and curiosity to explore. So that's why we love IMSA. So next slide, please. All right, so I'm not going to read this slide. It's kind of a little bit more wordy out here, but the reason why I'm here is to be your representative for the parent community, for the junior parent community. And my goal is this year to be your spokesperson, and I can be that critical link, right, between the IMSA PAC, the parent body, and the IMSA administration. And some of the things that I really want to do with your help and support, and you will see this meetings that we will conduct, is to kind of, generate a constructive communication. How do we kind of, voice if there are any concerns, of course, but then, how are you kind of helping to shape and navigate through your, the junior year specifically for your student. And some of the things that, I would not be able to help you, that is not my role, is to, if any one of you have any concerns about your student's grade or anything else, then that is to be taken with the appropriate, office, specifically the office of principal. That's just an example I laid out here. And also kind of, any solution to grievances or issues that you may have. My goal here really is to kind of engage in constructive ideas, and we'll have fun. All right, next slide, please. All right, so these are the thoughts that I had for, that's okay, I think we can go to the next slide. The thoughts around, what you can expect from the meetings, and also how you can get yourself involved and engaged. Some of the ideas that you can share with the community and the parent community would be, some of the best practices and success stories that you are experiencing as a junior class parent, right? So that is kind of the essence of these meetings, and it helps us to grow and foster kind of, community feeling. So that's what we can kind of, my goal is to kind of get out of these meetings, also exchange ideas, and also kind of, reach out with your resource information read. What are you kind of needing from, specifically from your, being a junior parent. And then there are some meeting cadences that I've spelled out here. We are planned to meet on Monday nights, 8:30 to 9:15, every other week, except for the holiday weeks, but then you will have it in your calendar. I think I've sent out invites to everyone, and you should have it in your inbox. All right, so next one. I laid out the meeting cadences here. I believe the slides will be sent out to everyone, so you can take a look, but basically this is kind of a reminder of the planned dates for our meetings. So that was it. And then, and of course, I have the QR code, which helps you to get to the parent, junior parent site on the IMSA PAC.org website. And there, as Maria was showing you, it lays out all the information and the recent emails or communication, and more specifically and importantly, the calendar invites and the calendar entries that will help you to kind of, get organized for the year. And last but not the least, I really thank you for the opportunity to serve you as the junior class representative, and I really look forward to work with you all. Go Titans. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Maitri. And also we have a sophomore parent representative, which is Rashmi Palamadai. Hopefully I'm pronouncing her name correctly. She is traveling today. So as she put in this picture, she is currently en route from India. So that she's probably sleeping on the plane right now. She is from Naperville, and her student is Jaram who's a sophomore. So you can contact her at sophomore@imsapac.org. But as Maitri had mentioned, the senior and sophomore parent representative roles will be doing similar things where they will have regular meetings to meet with parents of the seniors and sophomores. So please look out for emails from them. Okay, and also the PAC is made up of 9 different committees, and each committee has multiple committee chairs. So we do have a few committees that have only one committee chair right now. So feel free, if you are interested, to reach out to us either at info@imsapac.org or at the email that will be shown on that slide for that committee. Because it's always best to have more than one committee chair. Makes the load a little bit lighter. So we will share who these committee chairs are this year. And first we'll start off with academic. So DK.
Hello, everyone. My name is DK Lee. I'm excited to be here, and also it's my privilege to serve as academic committee co-chair. And it's based on all it's just my volunteer as serving as academic committee based on my impression coming from last year PAC. I think last year PAC did a great job with Maria and all the executive board member. This year, academic committee has a little different structure, and as you see, we do have many co-chair, and we do have 2 parents from each grade and representing, and it's basically the recommendation from the previous academic committee and Dr. Akwarj Anderson. I think we do try to maximize the communication efficiency. We do have 2 reps from each grade. I'd like to introduce those our 6 committee member and co-chair. And then I will talk about the academic committee's just mission and role for our students. Next slide, please. Wei War Lee, I don't know if she's here.
Yes, I'm here. Hello, everyone. My name is Wei Hua Li, and my daughter is Lily Zhang. She will be, she's a rising sophomore. And I lived in Riverside with my husband, Cheng Xi, and my 2 kids. You can see that they pictures my daughter Lily and my son Andrew. So if you have any, as a parent of sophomore, if you have any questions or concerns or input, feedback, please feel free to email us. Thank you.
I think it's Sonia here.
Good morning, I'm here. My name is Sonia Harrington, and I have twin girls, Amira and Amani Harrington, who will be at IMSA this year and are very excited. So I live in South Holland, which is about 20 miles south of Chicago, and I am so excited to be on the committee and to serve IMSA. Thank you.
Hello again. My name is DK Lee. We live in Champaign. I have a wife, Jin Son, and I have 3 sons. Youngest one, far left bottom, the right bottom is Isaac. He's a rising 8th grade, and then left side the Joshua, who will be a junior at IMSA, and also I have oldest one, Daniel, who graduated in 2020. He's a junior in college right now. If you have any concern about academic matter, then you can reach out to me, academic3@imsapac.org or academic@imsapac.org. I will talk to more about next slide, please. I think Piyush is traveling today. He's been doing great job in various aspects of the IMSA PAC. I think Maria already talked about the Piyush now pass. Amy, are you there? All right. I guess Amy's not here able to. We've already had a couple meetings with Amy and Piyush. She talks about then how we can serve as the academic committee. And then Amy's currently live in Naperville. She has a son, Ethan, and senior in IMSA. Next slide. Sanjay, are you here? Oh, Sanjay is also senior parent. That he's living in Champaign with my town, and he has a daughter which is senior, is a DBR. Next slide. basically, academic committees is our role. I mean, our primary purpose of the academic committee is to facilitate the communication between, school administration, faculty, and the parent of and on all academic matter. I think that's very important. Try to provide a good environment for our students, and I will do our best for that. Next slide, please. We academic committee chairs meet with the principal, Dr. Aqua Anderson, monthly. We are currently making schedule for the meeting schedule the week before every month, the PAC general session. That way we can address all the question and concern or feedback from the parent, and we deliver to the school administration, and also we can get answer from the school. And also we are going to have a regular communication with the junior and sophomores, the senior parent, and through the each grade meeting. And also we are going to have the various way to communicating between the parent and IMSA leadership. Next slide, please. And basically, we'll have, we'll deliver all the questions, concerns, suggestions, feedback from the parent to the school administration. Main route is we are addressing this concern and issue question to the Dr. Aqua Anderson through the monthly meeting. And then if we get the answer from the school, we'll present to those at the PAC general session meeting in the monthly, or oftentimes Dr. Aqua Anderson or school leadership come to the PAC meeting. They'll address the question we do have. And with that, we like to have all the communication done by through the either email. If you have all the parents, if you have any concern, question related to the academic matter, I mean, you can contact us through the academic@imsapac.org, or you can address those questions to the your grade representative during the meeting. I mean, which we'll try to best to provide the best environment for our student. And also we try to update all the necessary information in the PAC website. And there's a lot of information such as, tutoring, peer tutorings, and writing center, and also many senior parents has a question about, concern about, this college admission processes. We'll update all the necessary meeting information through the PAC, and you don't miss any information. Thank you, and excited to be here and work serve as the academic committee. Thank you.
Thank you, DK, and the rest of the academic committee. We do look forward to everything that you have in store. And next we have Friday Fest, and that is Carrie Morgan and Melissa Slynn. And I believe Melissa's on the call.
I am. Hello, everybody. My name is Melissa, and Carrie and I are co-chairs for Friday Fest. We both have senior students, so we are definitely looking for parents with younger students to join us. But first, what is Friday Fest? It is a huge potluck dinner. This year will be the first true Friday Fests. We've had to accommodate due to the pandemic which not be mentioned. And so we are excited to actually see what a real Friday Fest is like. Carrie and I have never seen a real Friday Fest. However, we were able to do our luau last year. So for those of you who were at luau, it is very similar to that. Basically, parents will be donating a variety of food, whether it be cultural or just something that your family really loves. And we typically feed about 350 students. Can we go to the next slide, please? These are some pictures from previous Friday Fests that occurred before Carrie and I were at IMSA. As you can see, lots of food, and we also will need lots of volunteer helpers. Next slide, please. And this is the list of the actual Friday Fest dates for the year. The first one being September 23rd, and we're really looking forward to this. Our next planning meeting is this coming Tuesday at 7 p.m. via Zoom. As the slide says, you can find the link on the PAC calendar, or you can feel free to email Carrie and I at fridayfest@imsapac.org. Next slide, please. Okay, so these are some of the reasons to join Friday Fest. As I already stated, we both have seniors this year, and we do want parents that live close, but we also have our meetings via Zoom. So all parents are welcome because we know everyone has great ideas and we want to make this the best that we can for our kids. The planning meetings are always held on the third Tuesday of each month at 7 p.m. And we're trying very, very hard to only make them be 1 hour. And we will have luau in the spring. We don't have an exact date yet, but we're working on that. That will be in May. Next slide, please. And again, if you have any questions or want to reach out for the link for the meeting, please email us at fridayfest@imsapac.org. And if there's no questions, that'll be it.
Thank you, Melissa. And yes, I think we're all looking forward to it as well as the students for the Friday Fest to come. And next we have the Hospitality Committee. Nisha, are you on the call? I'm not sure if Nisha's on the call, but Nisha Schenbag is returning as the hospitality chair this year. This is a photo of her and her family. Her husband is Neelish. She has a son, Neil, who's a freshman at Matia, and a daughter, Mitra, who will be a junior at IMSA and is also a 1506 RSL. So if any of you have any children in 1506, they may get to know Mitra. So she is looking for a hospitality committee co-chair. So if you are interested, please email her at hospitality@imsapac.org. So what the hospitality committee does is provides refreshments at the PAC committee, PAC sessions, monthly sessions, and parent and college day, and also celebrates Teacher Appreciation Week. So you can see some of the pictures from last year. So really, with the hospitality committee, this is not only for co-chairs, but also for those who want to help out in the committee. The commitments are to have join the monthly meetings, to plan refreshments or food, to have at the PAC sessions, and also to arrange, coordinate, and bring the food and set it up at those sessions. And also for staff and a Teacher Appreciation Week, volunteers for that week to carry out the events and different things that they have planned. A lot of it was centered around food last year, and the teachers seemed to love it. But there were also some other fun things that they had in store for that. So again, these are some of the things that they did for Teacher Appreciation Week, and that is also on the website if you wanted to take a look and see some of the things that were done. So Teacher Appreciation Week usually falls in the beginning of May. So definitely, if you're able to help out, I know that they would really appreciate it. And also in April, there is a college day for juniors. So they usually help out with the refreshments for that. And also last year we did a parent social. So we may try to do that this year as well. So again, she's looking for volunteers. So far she has a couple of volunteers, Lydia and Vivian. So thank you to both of you for that. And then if you go to hospitality on the PAC website, you can definitely find out more information. So again, reach out to her, hospitality@imsapac.org, if you are interested in the co-chair position. And next we have multicultural. So Maylene.
Okay, hi, good morning, parents. Can you see me? I cannot see myself. Let me see if I can.
Yes, we can see you.
Okay. My name is Maylene Lu. I'm honored to be selected as a Multicultural Committee co-chair. I think we still need another co-chair, right, Marie?
Yes.
So because now we represent a multicultural, just a little bit of background of myself. I'm coming from China and have been here over 20 years. And currently I live in Oak Park, which is the closest suburb on the west side of the Chicago. And my son, William, is going to be the rising sophomore. And so if you are interested now to be a multicultural chair or help out with the volunteer, then let Marie know, so we will be working together. And next slide, please. So the law of multi-country committee, number one, is helping to encourage or ensure the involvement by all ethnic group and the racial group. I know we're very, very diverse the community in IMSA from different countries, right? Like me from China, Marie from Mexico, I know Filipino. There's Anna from Mexico, all different countries. I don't know how many countries together, right? So number two is supporting the culture activity led by IMSA students group. So we usually every year have as Marie told me, 4 shows, right? Based on different culture theme. And we're gonna, number 3 is holding meetings with parents as needed to ensure that their diversity concerns and needs are being heard and addressed. So I'm very new, and then Marie just told me 2 days ago, so I'm still learning and I try to find out more information about the multicultural committees. And I think our Chinese Moon Festival is coming soon, so maybe we can learn more about the Chinese culture. So I would like to have parents volunteer represent their cultures, right? So we can learn everything new. And also for me, as a full-time job, I work in the financial service field. So it's one of the main services we provide is a help parents and student planning for their college education, how to get maximize your own financial aid from the school and the universities. So if you have any question on that field, I would love to help out on that. That's all from me. Thank you, Maria.
Thank you, Mei-Ling. Next, we have our regional representatives. So Susan Jones is one of the regional representatives co-chairs, and then we also have Kemi. So Kemi, are you on the call?
She's not able to be on the call today. Sorry, this is Susan. She had a prior engagement, but we're really excited to have her as a co-chair. She has a sophomore, so that will be wonderful. I'll introduce myself a little bit more later on. I'm a co-chair for student life as well, so I have a slide there, but I have a senior, so it'd be wonderful to get another regional representative co-chair to help Kemi going forward.
Thank you, Susan.
So the regional representatives plan the summer picnics and possibly hold other events during the year. Right now, I'd like to thank all the regional reps that have already had their picnics. I've seen videos, I've seen pictures. It looks like a great time was had by all. I'd also like to call attention to a couple of the picnics that are still upcoming. We have Region 5 today from 11 to 1 at Eckert's Farm in Bellevue. It's going to be held in the cider shed. Region 7 will be tomorrow from 11 to 4 at Fabian Forest Preserve Shelter 1 in Batavia. Region 8 will be tomorrow as well from 2 to 6 at Shagbark Park Hickory Preserve in Mokina. Region 9 will also be tomorrow from 12 to 2 at Riverwalk Pavilion in Naperville. And remember, you don't just have to go to you can choose any picnic you want to go to. You don't just have to stick with the region you're in. So if anyone's close to one of these regions tomorrow and wants to check out the picnic, it's a great way to meet new IMSA families, IMSA students, get some questions answered before moving. Great way for kids and parents to get to know each other. Can you go to the next slide? I've got a couple slides here just listing the regions. If you have any questions on what region you're on, this information is also on the PAC website, so you can always check that out. along with information on how to reach out to your regional reps and the regional chairs, should you have any questions. If you want to reach out to regional chairs, you can get in touch with Kemi and I at regionalchair@imsapac.org. If you wanted to reach out to your individual regional reps, it's just region, then whatever region that would be at imsapac.org. So for region 3, it would be region3@imsapac.org.
Thank you, Susan.
Thank
And
you.
Thank you. You're welcome. And thank you again to all the regional representatives. And I'm looking forward to anybody who will be at Region 9 picnic to meet tomorrow. So thank you. And next, we have senior banquet. So Lydia, are you on the call?
I am. I'm here.
Okay. Lydia, would you like to share your information about you and your lovely family?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. My name is Lydia Granger. I have an incoming sophomore. His name is Michael. And it took me a while to find a picture where all three of us were in the same frame, believe it or not. But here we are. We are Packer fans, and this is at Lambeau Field this last January. We were freezing. We had like 6 layers on, so we're not actually that poofy, but it was like 20 below that day. I will be working with another partner on the senior banquet, and it is an event held the weekend, I believe, before graduation for the senior class, where they are acknowledged and awards are presented. And I wanted to just briefly say something to the sophomore class parents that are out here. Since this is a 3-year high school, many sophomores incoming may be nervous to volunteer. The juniors have been here a year, they've seen it. They know how things run, and the seniors, sometimes the parents will just check out because they have college applications and bigger projects going on. So I really am speaking to the sophomore parents. I hope you step up, volunteer. Nobody knows what they're doing. We're all in the same boat. I volunteered for the senior banquet. I am not an event planner. I will figure it out and it will be wonderful. And I will be leaning on people that have seen it and look at pictures and make it great for the senior class. So many of these events are going to be hosted by the sophomores and juniors for the seniors. So this is one of them. So we do need sophomore and junior volunteers to assist us in preparing and planning the event. So it's a good starter project for anyone that's interested. It is a 1-day, 1 evening event, kind of like a prom, where you plan for it, you get organized, you send the invitations and so on, and make sure that all of the vendors are in place, and then maybe assist with volunteers the evening of the event. So if you have any questions, the email address is listed below the picture there. The event will be, I noted that it was planned for June 2nd, dinner, program, dancing, 6 till 11:30 in Naperville. And if you are interested in volunteering at all, the email address is seniorbanquet@imsapac.org on the bottom.
Thank you, Lydia. And yes, Lydia has co-chaired June Lee, who was not able to join today. But yes, they could use a lot of help with the senior banquet. Last year was the first year in a few years the senior banquet was able to take place in person in the fashion that it had been pre-pandemic. So this year, we're looking forward to it. So thank you very much, Lydia and team. And then next we have Student Life Committee.
Hey everyone, this is Susan again. I'm really excited. We've got 2 new co-chairs to the Student Life Committee. If you guys would like to take a minute to introduce yourselves, Maria and Melissa.
I'm happy to go first, if that's okay. Hi, my name is Maria Drispaulson. I'm there on the left of your screen with my big family. You can see that the young gentleman wearing the fantastic IMSA garb is a graduate of 2021. He is now a sophomore. at the University of Illinois in computer science. And then my husband is the guy to his left, or our right. His name is Tim. And smashed between myself and my son is the rising sophomore Naomi Paulson, who will be in 06 this year. And then to my right is my daughter Clara, my father, who is a supporter of our family as always, and my other daughter Zoe. My girls are triplets, so we're splitting up our family a little bit. I have all sophomores in our family, and we're all going different directions, but we're happy to be returning to IMSA, loving the community, and I welcome all of you to all of this. It's going to be a really great time, and Susan will tell you more about what student life is. So, hi, everybody.
Thank you, Maria. And Melissa, are you on the call?
She might not be on the call today. Oop. All right, I will go ahead if Melissa's not on. We're really excited to have Melissa and Maria returning to student life. My name's Susan Jones. I was student life co-chair last year. I have a rising senior. I also have a freshman in high school and a sixth grader. So all three boys. If you'll go to the next slide. Student Life works on a variety of initiatives in partnership with Student Affairs at IMSA. We also facilitate the Wing Parent Program. Please ignore that email address. I'm sorry, on my last slide, I have the email address right. I just copied the wrong one for this one. If you go to the next slide. Wing parents help carry out activities in the residence hall. Serving as a wing parent is a great way to get to know students, meet other parents, and help the RCs at IMSA. At this time, a wing parent is allowed into the wing common area to help host an event if necessary. If COVID restrictions are put back in place, then we're going to pivot back to how we did it last year. We were dropping off supplies, anything needed for the event, and then the RCs and the students were assisting with holding the events. They did a wonderful job last year. I don't think we could have asked for better. We had some amazing events. I want to thank everyone that's already volunteered to be a wing parent. We've had a lot of interest already, which is great, but we still need wing parents in every wing. So 2 or more per wing is wonderful. The more people we have, the easier it is to hold events, and it's spread out over more people. If you can go to the next slide. These are just some of the events that we had last year. Even with COVID restrictions in place, we still had gift bag drops-offs, popcorn, cookies, hot chocolate. We had some amazing spreads for Halloween. I don't think you could get more calories on a table than some of our wing parents managed to do. We had pumpkin carving. It was a really great time. So I thank everyone that helped out last year, and we're really looking forward to the events that we can hold this year. If you go to the next slide. If you want to join the Student Life Committee, if you want to be a wing parent, you can reach Maria, Melissa, and I all at that studentlife@imsapac.org address. And again, there's more information on the PAC website if you need to look at it later on. If you want to join the Wing Parent Facebook page, if you're a social media person, you can go to the 2022/2023 IMSA Wing Parents. You can stay connected with other wing parents. We share great wing ideas, a lot of posting of pictures on things that are going on to give each other ideas and help us out throughout the year.
Well, thank you.
Absolutely, thanks.
Thank you to all three of you. And being a wing parent is so fun, and hopefully we'll have a lot of parents involved in that. The kids always look forward to the wing parent events. So thank you to all three of you. Next, we have Technology Committee, Jim, Jose, and Charlie.
Hi, I'm Jim Ramos. I don't know if Jose is on, but Charlie is definitely on. Like Maria said, we live in Aurora. Our daughter is a senior, and then we have 2 alumni and a 9th grader. Next slide. Jose, are you on? Okay. Jose is a resident of Naperville. He has a senior and a junior. His wife's name is Carmen. Charlie?
Yeah, thanks, Jim. So we are Jim, Jose, and me, and this is Charlie. So my daughter is a rising junior, and my son is an 8th grader, and that's my wife, Prasanna. And really, I welcome the other two folks who have volunteered, Ellen Jan and Fen Liang. Both of them are in this call, so they have raised their hand to volunteer with us in the technology committee. So we will discuss more on that. Can you go to the next slide? Yeah, so as you can see here, we take care of the virtual meeting and also any kind of setup that is required during the in-person meetings, and we maintain the PAC webpage along with Jen, and also the Facebook page, and we take care of any technology related stuff. Cool. Thanks everyone. Jim, anything else did I miss?
Well, thank you, Technology Committee. Thank you. So yeah, so for anybody that is attending the upcoming meetings that are held in hybrid, they do a fantastic job of helping us to coordinate that. So I'll be sharing the upcoming meeting dates with all of you. So typically our meetings are held both in person at IMSA in the N2 space and via Zoom. Obviously this meeting was Zoom only, but we invite anybody who is local or even wants to drive up to join us in person if you're able to. Next, we have the Transportation Committee.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Abhijit Patkar. I'll be representing the Transportation Committee today. I got plenty of co-chairs, but we don't have a shortage of tasks, so I'm appreciative of all the help that we are getting on that front. As I said, my name is Abhijit Patkar. I'm from Peoria, Illinois. I have a rising junior this year, Rohan Patkar, and my older one graduated from IMSA in 2021. We have Jill Sigliana. She is somewhere from St. Louis area, and she has a senior this year in school. And I believe Jill is not in the meeting, and Kate is not here either. And Kate is from Marion, Illinois. She also has a senior. So I know that both of those are moving on next year, so I'll be alone. So it's good to have a new person join on our team, and then that's Shinyang Reo. They will be joining us this year. I believe they are sophomore. So that's just a brief introduction of our committee. All right, you might have seen it in the chat, and other people may have touched base on it. So PAC Transportation Committee, we arrange the transportation for students of the Central and Southern Illinois over the 6 extended weekends. And what are those 6 extended weekends? Those are the weekends that are IMSA is actually closed, and you're as a parent supposed to pick up your kids. And only on those 6 weekends are those buses running. And consider this bus service as a voluntary optional service from all these families. Consider it as like a big carpool, right? We pool the money together, we contract out that service to a bus company, and they just provide that service. So as you can see, as you can imagine, right, many parents, many families participating, your cost is gonna go down. That's just the pure math of how it works. So last year, we had 3 different routes. You can see it on the right-hand side there on the map. One route went all the way to St. Louis. It, of course, went through Bloomington and Springfield along the way. So we had 3 stops on that route. We had another route that went all the way to Marion, Illinois, and it had Champaign as one of the stops on that one. And then we had one solo stop route that went to Peoria. And it was all determined by how many families signed up from that particular city and region. And when I say region, within a reasonable drivable distance of, let's say, 15 to 20 minutes. So people just kind of come to those spots to get those. As Jen said earlier, our treasurer, the pre-registration survey is open. It will be open until August 31st. So please make sure that you voice your opinion in there. If there are additional routes to be considered, we can definitely look at the number of people responding from that region, and then we can add those routes if needed. There were about, I would say, 39 families that participated on the Route 1 that went through Bloomington, Springfield, Fairview Heights. Champaign-Carbondale had 20 students participate from that, and Peoria had about 24 students last year. And just as a baseline, right, I threw cost that was for that all 6 extended weekends, which includes 2 one-way trip for every extended weekend, right? So that's total 12 back and forth. We're looking at Bloomington, Fairview Heights, Springfield. You can just kind of go through those costs. Just an asterisk on those prices. Again, those prices are from last year, so those are baseline prices. Of course, the inflation is going to play into it. The bus companies working with us currently to understand what that cost looks like. So participation in that pre-registration survey is a key. Let us know how many students. So the way process works is that we collect the pre-registration responses. We determine how many students, what is the capacity needed for the buses. So after that survey closes, we'll reach out to the bus company, negotiate the prices, negotiate the contract with them. And somewhere in the second week of September is when we hold our overall cost structure. Let people then go in and do the final registration and pay for it, so that we are all ready for that first trip that's coming up on October 6th. As Jen said earlier, there is an assistance available for tier 1 and tier 2 families. We typically don't get that data ourselves from the privacy perspective. So Student Life handles all that information for us. IMSA Student Life handles all that information for us. And as I said, the registration survey will be open from the September 6th through September 20th. And during that time, we also look for parent volunteers who would help us as stop coordinators of each of those stops. So as you can imagine, a bunch of high school kids traveling on bus, they want to get out, and we want to make sure that they are handed and they are picked up by their family. So those parent volunteers are a key for us. So there will be some information available in that survey as well. And if you need any more information, please reach out to us at pacbus@imsapac.org. That's all I had, Maria.
Thank you so much, Abhijit. So yes, definitely, please do fill out that registration that they had spoken about that is on our website if you think that your student might be interested in utilizing the bus service. Okay, and then next we'd like to welcome some representatives from IMSA today. And I'd like to start off with IMSA's president, which is Dr. Evan Glazer.
You know, would it be okay if we started with Dr. Kwaji Anderson, and then I'll go, and then we'll circle back to Dr. Glazer? He had to step away for just a minute.
Oh, sure, no problem.
Thank
so
you.
Let me flip over to Dr. Kwaji Anderson. Dr. Comfort Kwaji Anderson, welcome.
Good morning, everyone. I am so excited to be here, and that's because, of course, we are getting really close to having students on campus. I have so many things that I want to just share with you all. And so let me just go ahead and dive right into it. So to start off, I want to emphasize the fact that we are, of course, we rock, right? Okay, I'm going to boast a little bit. We do a lot of things really, really well, but we're going to continue to, of course, work to improve, to continue to be the IMSA that we want to be. That said, you know, that means we will continue to seek and use various approaches, strategies to differentiate instruction for our students, of course, our diverse students, especially those from under-resourced areas and under-served backgrounds. So that intentionality, we're going to continue to focus on. We will also continue to advance and enhance our practices. That means we need to make sure that we're including and being really sensitive to culture. So culturally sensitive, relevant, and proficient approaches. I remember when Mei-Ling was talking, I hope I didn't butcher your name, Mei-Ling, when she was talking about the Multicultural Committee. I kept thinking about, you know, different things that we need to do, because we want to make sure that we keep in mind who we are, who our students are, so that we can better support them to learn. Of course, we are going to be self-reflecting to figure out what we need to do across the board differently to ensure that our students are succeeding. Now, we really want to focus on some big rocks in academics this year. For example, we want to lower the number of students who leave IMSA due to academic performance. That's something that makes myself, Dr. Glazer, Ms. Berger, and the rest of our cabinet lose sleep. And so we really are going to do whatever we can to reduce that number. That means we're going to use a variety of strategies. I already mentioned the culturally sensitive, relevant, and proficient approaches. We're also going to use mastery-based approaches to grading. Of course, I've been mentioning that to you all, and the academic team, we're going to really dive deeper into that. I have some articles that I'll be sending out. I'll send it to the academic committee first. And then, of course, I'll share with the rest of you because I think it'll be good for us to be informed. Again, I'm looking forward to working closely with the academic committee to support the success of our students. We plan to, again, pivot, adjust based on the varying needs of our students. And academic committee, I'm so excited that you implemented the suggestions that we brought up. We're going to have lots of representation. I am also going to invite you all to, we have some professional development going on throughout the year, focusing on mastery grading, because that, that causes a lot of inequities in our students' success. So there are 2 dates that I'm going to mention to you. I'm sorry that this is, it sounds like last minute, but we've been working on securing these dates for professional development. One of them is on Tuesday afternoon, actually. We are going to have, his name is Dr. Thomas Gusky. He's the guru when it comes to grading and grading for equity and things like that. He will be coming to really help us think about why are we changing the way that we grade, because we have lots and lots of data that support the need to do so. And of course, we know that we have our equity policy. And so we're trying to look at our practices and everything that we do through that lens. So he'll be talking about that. The other date is October 26th. We will be discussing inconsistencies between sections of the same course. And I mentioned this because you all, a lot of times I get emails from you or you call me and you'll say, my student is taking this class from this teacher and their roommate or their friend who is taking the same course with another teacher is having a different experience. So I think that the more aware we are of some of these things, the better we'll be able to do some things differently. So again, Tuesday the 16th and October 26th. You let me know if you're going to be able to participate. I can provide more details. And of course, academic committee will talk about that when we meet. The other super important thing that I wanted to bring up is the virtual parent day. Again, just one of the reasons that we're doing it virtually this fall is because one, we got feedback from you all last fall when we did the virtual parent day, that you wanted us to do it virtually. And then the data that we collected, it indicated that, to significantly increase the number of our families who participated in parent day, especially those from Central and Southern Illinois, it made a huge difference historically, huge difference. So that's why we're doing that. But I'm thinking that the spring parent day, I think we could do it in person. Ms. Berger and I have had some conversations about how that might work, whether or not that might work because of other things that are going on. But I just wanted to provide a rationale or remind us of the rationale for why we're doing parent day virtually, because I brought it to you all at that time. We agreed on it. And so that's why we're doing that. Next, we have convocation coming up on the 22nd. It's a formal, we would like for students to, it's a formal occasion. So please make sure that you make sure they bring one of their Sunday best to wear, because we're really looking forward and excited about that because of the significance and importance of convocation. It's a tradition for us. Mr. Gazak wanted me to make sure that I share with you all that, you know, students' course schedules may change throughout the week. We all are already getting some emails from you all with questions. So yes, those course schedules may change because we're trying to look at what works and, you know, what teachers teaching what and what courses students are taking. So it's going to change quite a bit. And then junior and senior add and drop is scheduled for the first week of school. We also got emails about that, so I wanted to indicate that. Finally, please read all communications regarding schedule and contact us. Anything that you receive that has to do with schedule, please look at it and contact us, because there's a lot changing and we don't want you to receive an email, not read it, and something changed and you didn't catch that. So please reach out to us and we'll answer whatever questions you have. And we're always there to work collaboratively, of course, to continue to support our students. So that concludes my remarks for this morning.
And Dr. Akwaji Anderson, there's a question in the chat for you. Will the August 16 and October 26 academic talks be in person or via Zoom?
Actually, it'll be via Zoom. Our presenter is in Kentucky. And so, yeah, via Zoom. That's why I wanted to make sure that I extend the invitation, because in person could be a little tricky.
Perfect. And Dr. Akwaji Anderson, would you mind putting in the email address for the principal's office in the chat for anybody that wants to reach out to you?
Sure. And one of the things that I'm going to do this year too, I'll provide an email, but I'll need to double check to make sure it's correct. Is I think it's principal at IMSA, but I will make sure that I double check that before I send it out to you all. But the print of email, I'll go ahead and put it in the chat.
Thank you very much. And thank you for those updates too.
No problem.
Okay, and next we will go back to Dr. Glazer, the IMSA President. So Dr. Glazer, thank you for joining us today.
Hello, good morning, everyone. So great to be with you. I really appreciate the time. And I want to start off by really expressing my gratitude on how much planning and commitment and support PAC and everyone who contributes in leadership roles in PAC to supporting the health of our community and making the experience for our students incredibly meaningful. That means a lot to me, and I know it means a lot to our colleagues. And as you heard from some of the commentary, certainly the campus will be a lot more accessible to parents in this upcoming year as we, knock on wood, approach an endemic, and really have managed COVID in such a way that we're able to kind of toggle back and forth in the event that there's any kind of adjustments in community health. So I'm really excited to see community members back on campus physically. Of course, we want to continue to engage with you virtually because we know that you come around or that you live all around the state. I have a deep gratitude also to Dr. Akwaji Anderson and Katie Berger for really working with their teams to get this school year ready and make the experience for our students and our colleagues exceptional. I know that they've been working nonstop throughout the summer to ready to ready the school year. Personally, I look at the backdrop of some of your screens that say proud parent of an IMSA student, and that certainly makes me really happy. I'm also a parent. I have 3 small children. I'll have to find a point to put their pictures on the screen for the next conversation. In fact, I think in my next parent newsletter, you'll see a picture of me and my son, because I'm a proud parent of a IMSA camper. So my son went through Dream City Camp in July and really loved it. He's a rising 3rd grader. He's my eldest. I also have a rising 1st grader and rising pre-K student. So that is really a joy in my life and also incredibly exhausting for those of you who remember the years when your kids were really small. But Luke really enjoyed his time at Dream City and really got a good flavor for a little bit of what IMSA is like for a week. And I'm also, if I had to add to my backdrop, I would say I am a proud educator of IMSA students, because also later in July, I had the wonderful opportunity to teach math to a whole crop of our 10th graders who will be coming in as we ran our Excel program, which is a bridge program that kind of gives students a running start into 10th grade. And some of you on the call, I probably had, if they participate in Excel for sure, then they had a chance to get to know me and to hear my jokes, which either they laughed or groaned or did a combination thereof. But, you know, if I ever find someone laughing to my math jokes, that's like the perfect recruitment opportunity as a future math educator. So I was delighted to have a chance to get to know our students. And as the school year begins, and even throughout the school year, you know, many of your students may attest that I like to help them out in the hallways, and I'll hold office hours as well. I'm really committed as an educator, and I have a lot of joy in those experiences of connecting with students. I want to share a little bit about our strategic priorities in the coming year. It's actually a 5-year plan that we developed last spring, and we involved a lot of parents in the process. So we had separate meetings with 10th grade parents, 11th grade parents, and 12th grade parents who could contribute some ideas as we think about continuous improvement. I want to just highlight 4 priorities, and it's really a long range plan. It's more like a 5-year plan, but there are things that are kind of top of mind as an institution, not just as a place for where your kids learn, but and experience life. But you know, we're a state agency, so we are deeply committed to impacting thousands of educators and students around the state, even if they aren't participating directly on our Aurora campus. So we, you know, our flagship North Star, if you will, is that we're devoted to changing the trajectory of teaching, learning, and life experiences. And we really want that of your students, and we also want that of our educators, and we want that of those people who participate in our programs. And our 4 priorities, one is associated with equity in STEM, you know, as we think about the success of students who come from under-resourced backgrounds. And I think Dr. Agwaji Anderson referenced some of that in her remarks. And also there's an enrichment side of, you know, who has access to SIR and entrepreneurship and internships. We want that to be accessible to all of our students. The second priority is around the development of our people, and the commitment is a learning laboratory. And, you know, many of you know that we do remarkable things with our students and challenge them in meaningful ways that will really stretch them. Hopefully you see in ways that are not possible in your local community, and that's why they come to IMSA. Well, we want our colleagues on campus as well to think of IMSA as a learning institution for them and their growth and their discovery and their challenge to stretch them, to get them better, to help them get better, and to even think of future career pathways within IMSA. Our third priority is around the connection between our academic program and the impact throughout the state. And that core strategy is around innovation. So I'm really excited to kind of front load some information, but I will keep it as a teaser. But the Illinois State Fair is happening right now and will happen over the next, I think, week and a half. And there will be some point where they release an announcement of high school, Illinois State high school innovators. And half of those awards will go to IMSA students. And it's something that we feel really excited about and proud of our students. And I just want to convey, we want the same for our teaching and learning programs. So we want to be a flagship of innovation and want our educators and people who commit to impacting the state to be regarded as great programs that are transferable, that certain practices about teaching and learning can be applied throughout the state. So we're advancing STEM education everywhere. And our fourth priority is around our financial stability and our financial strength. So it's not a secret that over the last 15 years, the financial support to the institution from the state level has been less than the rate of inflation, and that's been consistent. So we had a wonderful contribution of a 5% increase from the state legislature this past financial cycle going into FY23. As wonderful as that is, that's still lower than the rate of inflation. And that has been fairly consistent since the economic recession. I certainly dedicate a lot of time, along with some of my peers, in advocating for additional funding. However, we recognize that we can't just solely rely on Illinois State for our sources of revenue in order to do the remarkable things that we wish to achieve with our students and throughout the state. And so we will be continually more deliberate about how we can generate revenue as an institution. Quick examples would be, now that we're approaching an endemic, bringing back summer residential programs. 4 years ago, here's another example. 4 years ago, the state legislature approved allowing IMSA to grow its campus beyond the 650 students to involve out-of-state students who would be tuition paying. We would like to start piloting that in a year from now, and kind of build into that. Obviously, along with that, we need to expand our facilities. And as you'll see on move-in date, the residential houses we want to upgrade and improve in advance. Obviously, that requires a lot of funding to support that. So we're looking into a variety of financial pathways, some from the state government, some from different financial advisors, and how we're able to create a better living environment for all of our students. And so those are really some big challenges on the horizon. And I think I'm delighted to be a leader at IMSA, taking on these challenges with my teammates, and I'm delighted to engage the community in conversations about them. So you should hear in my upcoming letter coming out an opportunity to go deeper into all these topics, and I look forward to sharing more with you and also getting your feedback. Thank you very much for what you do with IMSA, and I look forward to a great year ahead.
Thank you very much, Dr. Glazer. Appreciate that. And next we have Ms. Katie Berger from the IMSA Student Affairs Office.
All right, good morning, IMSA parents. It is wonderful to be joining you this weekend, and I want to say thank you for spending part of your last weekend with your children at home with us. And I absolutely want to say thank you to the PAC. In the past, we had the first PAC meeting of the year in September. And so your students were already on campus. And a couple of years ago, PAC said, I think it would be helpful to bring everyone together right before move-in, because that's when there's a lot of questions and information to share. And I really want to applaud PAC for that effort and everything that you've done to make participation in PAC more accessible for our Central and Southern Illinois parents. We've really seen a huge increase in the number of parents that live further away participating now that there are more Zoom and hybrid options. So move-in is coming, starting on Wednesday. We're really looking forward to having your students back on campus. I'm going to share some things that might be new and some things that might be reruns that were shared in previous communications. So if you're like, I already knew that, that's good. That means we're getting the word out, but I would rather tell you again than have you not know. When you arrive to campus, your students will need to be COVID tested. It is a rapid antigen test and nasal swab. If you would feel more comfortable testing your child at home before you make a 2, 3, 4, 5 hour drive, I totally get it. I would be the same way. We encourage you to test in the morning before heading over to campus. Your students still, though, will need to be tested on campus. That would be more so for your peace of mind that you're not making a really long round trip with a potential sickness that would impact your ability to move in. Our senior class club will be selling spirit wear on site. So we encourage you to check out some of the IMSA merchandise while you're waiting for your students' test to be processed. And they are asking, if possible, that you bring cash or check to purchase those items. We may have our credit card reader, fingers crossed, but just in the event that we don't, because there's a slight issue with it, bring cash or check. The pro tip is to have your paperwork, your registration paperwork done before you arrive on campus, to have made your student fee payment either for the entire year or your first payment plan payment, so that you don't have to stop at a lot of tables and you can quickly get over to the residence halls. Another pro tip is if you have a cart or a dolly at home that you can bring with you, I would absolutely encourage you to do this, especially if you are a sophomore family. What we have noticed over time is that our sophomore families typically arrive very early in the move-in process, which is wonderful, but it means that everybody's trying to get their hands on those carts and dollies at the same time. Our returning families tend to kind of space out a little bit more when they arrive, and so it isn't as big of a challenge, but I would still encourage junior and senior families, if you have carts, dollies, the mallets that you use for bunking the beds and unbunking the beds, bring those things with you to help expedite your process. I want to say thank you to Shelly Lemons for helping us recruit some parent volunteers for move-in. Continue to sign up. At this point in time, I think the day we really are looking for the volunteers, as Shelly mentioned earlier, is Saturday the 20th for our junior and senior move-in. So if you're available, let us know. I read the other day that CPS is looking for 400 more bus drivers. And I'm sure all of you have read similar stories from local communities about some challenges related to staffing in our schools and the support services related to our schools. And so I also want to be honest with you that we are not immune to some of those challenges and that we are still working to hire RCs. We have taken some really proactive steps in retaining a recruiting firm to assist us and offering some referral incentives for staff. I think you know from comments from myself and Dr. Glazer that hiring our ResLife staff is a really high priority for us, but we do want to be honest that we're still working on that process. In fact, we had 2 interviews yesterday, and we have either 2 or 3 on Monday as we continue that process. Our goal continues to be 5 staff members per hall, 4 resident counselors or RCs, and then 1 day home monitor or DHM, because we love our acronyms. And so some of your halls you may see have 4 staff members at this time instead of the 5 as we continue to fill those remaining RC roles. And so I want to be honest with you all and know that you're going to have the opportunity to meet some new people in the coming weeks ahead as we continue to interview and hire. The first 2 days on campus will be busy for your student getting settled and engaging in the Welcome Week programming. The Welcome Week schedules were shared in the most recent Student Affairs newsletter, and I would ask that all of you please review those. There are some optional and some very strongly encouraged sessions for parents in conjunction with your child's move-in day, so please take a look at that. I know Dr. Kwaji Anderson already mentioned that students should bring their convocation outfit. There's always somebody that forgets. We'll work with you if you forget, but the more students that can come prepared, the better off we are. And I have received some questions already about convocation and parent access. We will be recording convocation and the link will be shared following the event. It will not be live streamed, unfortunately, but we do want to be able to share that experience with you, and so it will be sent out afterwards. If you haven't already, please make sure to mark your calendar for our carnival event on August 27th. And thank you to the volunteers. I looked this morning and we already had, I would say, about 30 volunteers from parent volunteers signed up to help with carnival. It takes about 100 volunteers to run that event. So continue to sign up, and thank you for your support. In addition to volunteering, we hope that you'll come and enjoy the event with your family members. It's a great time to see your student and see them with some of their new friends. We also have a lot of our IMSA staff members who volunteer at the event or attend with their families. So it's a great time to connect with those individuals as well. Related to food service, because that's always a hot question in these meetings and a source of importance for it's something that's important to our families and something that we want to have a lot of input and conversation about. I did want to share that our food service vendor Lexington has hired a new chef who is actually an IMSA parent. He has a rising junior, and I thought that might be of interest to this group. And I'm really grateful to Maria and the PAC leadership as they have agreed to have the Lexington team join the September PAC meeting to be able to provide an overview for you all of what the dining experience is going to look like this year. And then, of course, be available for any feedback you might have. It's the last few days before everybody moves in and school starts. So I know there might be outstanding questions that different people have. Feel free to chat me directly and I'm happy to answer those or connect you with the right person. And I would say when in doubt, call our office. I'll put the number in the chat when I am done speaking. Our teams have been in like full day meetings and trainings, and that will continue into this week when our 10-month employees return. And so sometimes by the time we get into our emails a little bit into the evening, some of our other colleagues who need to assist us in resolving issues, they're not on the clock, they're not in their email or working. And so it can be a little bit challenging. Minerva or Michelle, who will answer our office's phone number, they are there to assist and can really be great connectors and challenge resolvers when in doubt. So please don't feel stressed if there's anything that is unresolved for you. Give us a call and let us help you resolve it, because we want to have your questions answered and have you feel good and excited as you arrive from move-in. I will, of course, be at all of the move-ins, so I look forward to seeing many of our returning families. And if you are new, I would love for you to come say hi and introduce yourself as we prepare to serve your students going into this academic year. Thank you.
So Katie, there's a question in the chat. Is it going to be an issue that my student has to leave for SAT on August 27th?
Great question. So we've had that question come up a few times. Of course, we want your child to go take the SAT. And in fact, if you're a sophomore, I think we're asking you to have your child go take the SAT. We are just keeping track of a list of the students who are signing out to do the SAT to share with our Res Life team. So go ahead and email either me or Minerva. I'll put our emails in the chat as well. And then we'll just add your child to the list as somebody who is departing for that exam. I do want to put out there, we ask all of our students, in particular our sophomores, to stay on campus for the first couple weeks as part of the adjustment period. And it is never to be adversarial with you as parents and say, you can't come take your child home. That's not it. We want your kids to adjust well to IMSA and to be set up for success. And so that is part of our strategy in retaining our students and building their comfort on campus, is asking them to stay for those first 2 weeks. So our recommendation would be to depart to take that really important exam and then return to be able to participate in the fun activities such as Carnival that will occur later that day.
And there's another question for you. Do most students stay over Labor Day weekend?
Actually, no. We have most students who are within a few hour radius actually go home on Labor Day weekend. I think because we've asked you to stay for a couple of weeks, and the first couple of weeks there's a lot going on. And so a lot of families actually prefer to have their children go home Labor Day weekend. We are open. It is not an extended weekend. There will be activities and things for students who are on campus, but quite honestly, a lot of students do go home that weekend.
Okay, great. Well, thank you very much for the updates. And as Katie had mentioned, and I think with all of the IMSA representatives that are here, if you have any questions for them, feel free to put it in the chat. And they have also provided their email addresses, so you can definitely reach out to them if you have any questions. And on behalf of the PAC, we also wanted to say how much we appreciate the help and assistance that you've given us and the partnership that we've built with you to keep the lines of communication open for the parents and guardians, the volunteers, but also in general for parents and guardians to be able to share feedback with you. So we do look forward to working with all of you this upcoming year. And for those of you who are new to IMSA and to the PAC, we usually do have a representative from the principal's office and student affairs office. It is usually Dr. Comfort Claudia Anderson and Mrs. Katie Berger who join us monthly, but if they're unavailable, they do send a representative. So that is also a pitch for you to continue to attend our PAC meetings, because we do try to make it a place for you to be able to not only find out about PAC updates, but also updates from IMSA. So again, thank you to all of you. All right, so I just wanted to close out the meeting and share a few more things for all of you. There is a section on our website that showcases how you can donate to the PAC. So as we've touched on, there are, we do get funding from IMSA Fund, and we are so appreciative of that. But there are times like since we are assisting like tier 1 and tier 2 students for some of our programs, that additional funding could be helpful. So there's different ways that you can help out by donating to the PAC or sharing, especially if any of you work for companies that have employee sharing for donations. Feel free to share this link. Also, if any of you shop at Amazon, which I assume is going to be a good portion of people, and especially if you are getting ready for purchasing any back to school items, Amazon Smile program, that is a place where Amazon will donate to nonprofits, and we are one of the nonprofits. So it does not change the cost for you for what you are purchasing. They just contribute a small portion of that percentage of what you're purchasing back to the PAC. And also for any of you that live further away or have had questions about being able to ship packages to your students, that is, you're able to do that. And the information on how to send that is in the student and parent handbook. And so there are kids and families that send via Amazon. So consider using our link. Also, as Jen had mentioned, the OCM program, you probably did get mailers. It's also on our website. So if you want to purchase any of those linens, and they have other care packages available, feel free to go on there. And as I mentioned, we do have Proud Parent merchandise available. We will have those available for pickup right at the next PAC session in September. So if you go on our website, you can pre-order and just show us the receipt and we'll get that to you. Okay, so what's next? So we've been talking about the website a lot. That is something that we have worked really hard last year to put together, because we know that parents kind of want to have a place where they can find information. So we encourage you to visit imsapac.org frequently, because we do update that quite frequently with all the information that comes out, and also calendar events. And also we encourage you to add imsapac.org and imsa.edu domains as safe senders in your emails, because you will be getting quite a few emails from both of those and you don't want them going to spam. And that's also why we created that IMSA communications tab within the website, because if an email gets stuck in your spam folder and you really just didn't know that it went out, there's a place for you to go. And excuse me, I believe Katie has put the email address for the Student Affairs Office in the chat, but you can also let them know if you are seeing that there are emails out there and you're not getting the emails, to double check with them, because their office is the one that makes sure that the correct email addresses are on file. Also, fill out the interest form on the PAC website if you are interested in volunteering in any of the PAC committees. You can either fill out that form or reach out directly to any of those committees in the email addresses that they've shared. There's also a contact us section on the website, so you can find those emails directly on there. A reminder to downstate families, if your child is interested in riding the bus, please fill out that pre-registration form so the bus committee knows how to proceed with the routes and everything like that. Our upcoming PAC session dates are here. These are also on the website, and we did have the question about the time of the meeting or the sessions. They are usually at 10 a.m., usually held from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. It is hybrid most of the time, both held into and via Zoom. So feel free to join us in either capacity that you're available to do so. As we've mentioned, College Day in April is a little bit different because there's College Day in the morning, so that's usually held in the afternoon. The recordings for this will be available next week. So you'll be able to access it, and I will be emailing out the link also. For information about the Board of Trustees meetings, that is also available here. There's a couple of QR codes. And again, this slide deck will be shared with everyone. So you'll have that handy. And again, if you would like to contact us, you can send a general email to us at info@imsapac.org, and we will make sure to get your emails forwarded to the correct people who might be able to help you out with any of the information that you're seeking. So I just wanted to say that I am looking forward to this year. I'm very excited for everything that's going on, and getting to meet a lot of new families as well, and being able to work with a lot of new volunteers within the PAC team as well. So I wanted to leave it with anybody that might have any last minute questions before we end the call. Oh, and then there was that answer in the chat. I see that pictures for IDs and yearbooks will be taken at move-in, and seniors will have a sign up at a later date to take senior photos. So for those of you that did have that question about the email that has gone out by, I believe it was Life Touch, about ordering photos, that is what it is, because they'll be taking the photos on move-in day. And okay, so thank you, everyone. I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. So hopefully those of you who are attending any of the picnics this weekend, have a great time. And if you haven't had an opportunity to attend a picnic, feel free to join any of the ones that are still ongoing this weekend. So good luck, everyone. Enjoy the last weekend while your kids are home, and good luck with all the move-in, and look forward to seeing all of you next month. So thank you again. Appreciate it.
Hello. I'm sorry. Hello.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I have this last minute. I've been trying to, I'm new to IMSA, and I've been trying to see what region I belong with the picnic thing, and I've not been able to find out. So I sent out some emails, but I've not been able to find out what region.
Sure.